We were together for 14 years, 10 years in marriage and 4 years before it. I'm 37, she's 31. We have a child together. Our family life seemed normal, but at the end of last year, everything collapsed. My wife, beautiful, tall, 175 centimeters, slender, with a magnificent bust, confessed that she cheated on me. Before that, there were 2 weeks of lies and manipulations. I am not worthy of you. He is different, attentive and caring. It's your own fault. You don't pay attention to me. All those standard phrases that we hear in such situations. She was very afraid that her parents might find out about it, and did everything to hide her infidelity. I gave her an ultimatum. Either she tells them herself, or she moves into a rented apartment. The apartment we lived in was bought in a marriage. I paid half of her new rent, and also helped with the money for the baby, about $4,000 in total. After I kicked her out, I was just bursting with pain. I didn't sleep for the first 2 days. I was very worried. There's something wrong with the job. I've been drinking for about 3 weeks now. I haven't called her. Then I realized that I had to get out of this nightmare, otherwise I would end up in a complete pit. I found a psychologist and started working with him. We have analyzed my behavior and the situation. He set me on the right path. I started exercising myself, went to the gym. Guys, how sports help is just incredible. When gloomy thoughts came into my head, I ran for 5 to 10 km, and they immediately disappeared. I bought myself new clothes, changed my image, and started meeting new girls. To be honest, these acquaintances were like revenge. I didn't care about them. I just wanted to take revenge on the entire female family. That's why I didn't get attached to anyone. And honestly, I've been comparing everyone to my ex-wife all the time. The next step was my own desire. The psychologist asked, "What are you sowing on the forums?" It's not the most popular wish, but it was what I really wanted. The psychologist did a great job. He developed a program that broke my habits and views. It was a blow to my pride, principles, and self-esteem. Now I understand that it was the right thing to do. If I hadn't been in such a situation then, I would have remained selfish. Everyone is right to say that people do not change, and I have not changed, but I have learned to fight my selfishness and stereotypes. I learned to talk. Instead of playing the offended one, I learned to demand, and not to hush up my desires so as not to make a scandal. Even when it was over with my ex-wife, I learned to defend my positions calmly, without shouting and swearing. To be honest, I got aesthetic pleasure from it. Liam exasperated her with his calmness. The psychologist asked me not to sleep with other women so as not to waste energy, but I couldn't do it. I didn't have enough strength. For about 2 months I was torn apart by pain. Then I withdrew into myself, into isolation. I didn't talk to her on the phone, only to arrange when to take the child for a walk. About a month later, my ex-wife started pinging, probing. Did I die there? Then she started having problems with her new man. You see, he didn't need a woman with a trailer. Moreover, they lived far away, and he came to her only once a month. She wanted to force a relationship, and he didn't need it. About a month later, everything changed, and the ping turned into a comeback. She was increasingly looking for opportunities to be together, hiding behind the care of the child. Although this was not her only motive, she sought to leave the child with me overnight, knowing that in that case I would not bring other women to me. There were times when, after leaving the child with me at 9 or 10 p.m., she asked to spend the night with him, saying that she was very worried. She also invited me to dinner, offered to just go for a walk or spend time together. Gradually, I began to lose ground, being weak of character, like many men. One day, being slightly drunk, I accepted her invitation and went to her place. She had thoroughly prepared for my arrival. She set the table, cooked dinner, there was wine. Everything started to gain momentum, and she began to offer me sexual intercourse. I refused, explaining that I felt disgusted after her betrayal. After her connection with Liam, our lives changed dramatically. After that night, She said she was ready to give me everything she had previously kept secret, as if for a devoted fruit. That night, after 14 years of living together, a passion broke out between us, which we seemed to have long forgotten. I did everything with her, dreamed of the World Cup, that I did not dare to do before. It was incredible. After that night, it was like we were different. There was some kind of romantic flair, which did not exist before, although we still lived separately. After 2 months, I took her back home. Life in the house has become completely different. The atmosphere, our relationship, even everyday life, everything was not the same as before. Now we have been living together for almost a year. I can say with confidence that our relationship is now better than ever, even better than after the birth of a child or a wedding. It was as if we had grown up and began to understand each other better. Perhaps I have become more romantic than before, but I still have some kind of revenge in my intimacy, as if thoughts of Liam are alive. We live in a civil marriage, and I do not know how everything will turn out next, but now, despite everything, I am happy. The ex-wife slowly started hinting at buying a new car, saying, "Let's buy it." I, a naive fool, thought that this was a joint desire, but then it turned out that she needed the car only for herself. After I found out about Liam, her new friend, I took the car and sold it. That's what I've learned. Not to give up my desires in front of my wife. In general, to clearly defend your interests in front of any woman. Not to be selfish in a relationship. Not to be silent. Not to avoid talking in raised tones. Try as much as possible so that a woman cannot influence the property you have acquired in the event of a divorce. Apply for friends, for a left-wing company, for anything. Do not give away the entire salary, declaring only the part that you consider necessary for the family. I'm not saying I'm pushing too hard, but I'm just being reasonable and in control of the situation. Buy food cards for your child. The money for a month should be enough for family life. And gifts, restaurants, and so on are your bonuses. Let me respect you, your work, and your buns. Don't get fat. Sports should always be in life. Watch your clothes. And it's best to dress better than her, at least by force, to pay attention to a woman. Moreover, now you don't even need to spend time on it. An unexpected bouquet, an order and delivery remotely, some kind of toy, an order and delivery remotely, or a piece of clothing, a like on the network. I remember how my father died in an accident when I was only 12 years old. His mother loved him very much and has not been able to love another man since. She was loyal to him, and it affected me a lot. I got married, and in marriage I didn't always behave like a real husband. Sometimes I drank a lot, couldn't come home at night, yelled at my wife. I've gained a lot of weight in 10 years of living together. I could take offense and keep quiet for a few days, or go somewhere, and not tell you where I'm going. I could forget about the important thing she asked me to do, and most importantly, I didn't support her when she was really sick. But I never raised my hand. I understand that my actions were wrong and I want to change. But everything that is written on forums about women is true. It's the same story at home. I'm sitting tired, but there's no dinner. I'll cook it myself. The apartment was bought with my money, and she has already gone to the sea. Everyone's driving, and you're pinching me. I say, "Look, I'm tired. Let's do it in a year." And she said, "You don't respect me." Scandal. Then I say that I have a meeting with my partners. I will be there in the evening, and maybe have a drink. She screams again. So she doesn't respect my work. What should I do? All the money goes to the house, and I am also accused of disrespect. She did it all by herself.